Mattia Binotto's exit from Ferrari was as swift as it was shocking. He denied he was going. Ferrari management denied he was going. And yet now, he's gone. People across the sport have been reacting to his exit and the apparent lack of a plan from Ferrari. Today, we'll get you up to date with all the opinions from the top personalities in Formula 1. So don't go anywhere. You all know by now the story of Ferrari's season. The lack of development, the painful strategy errors, the discontent of Charles Leclerc. It has been well documented all year. But Mattia Binotto was meant to be the start of a new era for Ferrari. He was employed to bring stability to the team in an attempt to steady the ship and return Ferrari to where the top brass at Maranello perceived their rightful place to be, at the top of every championship. This year was a huge step in the right direction, but it should have been a leap. They should have capitalized on their early strength to fight Red Bull harder. They should have resolved their engine reliability problems quicker. They should know the basics of race strategy. But they don't, and they didn't. And by the end of the year, they were thoroughly underwhelming. Apparently, Mattia resigned with a month's notice, leaving at the end of December. I would put my money on him legally having to give more notice than that. This has exit by mutual agreement written all over it. But because Ferrari is Ferrari, they don't want their image stained with another firing. Instead, their image is stained by the desperate search for a new team principal, which by all accounts is going awfully. If this wasn't embarrassing enough for them, one of their main candidates now has an arrest warrant hanging over them. The entire Juventus Football Club board has resigned recently because of an investigation into false accounting by Turin prosecutors, including CEO Maurizio Arrivabene. Yes, it's the same Maurizio Arrivabene who was the team principal at Ferrari until 2019. As the rumour mills are rife regarding the replacement of Mattia Binotto, fans wondered if the Ferrari management might rope Arrivabene in to retake the position. Not anymore though. The Juventus club president who also stepped down, Andrea Agnelli, is a part of the same family that controls Ferrari, by the way. If this year hasn't already been one of the most embarrassing in Ferrari history, a financial investigation would really top it off. There is, as to be expected, a great deal of speculation as to why Mattia Binotto has decided now to quit, with the general consensus being it was a case of jump rather than be pushed. As for where the push was coming from, that, it is being speculated, was partially from Leclerc's camp. One theory people have speculated is that the decision to not pit Leclerc late on at the British Grand Prix, a decision that gave Sainz the win, was a power play from Binotto, an attempt to stamp his authority on Charles. Some commentators have been suggesting that while Mattia may have won that battle, the Monegasque has now won the war by getting Binotto fired. Naomi Schiff, though, has rubbished the mere suggestion that a driver has the clout to dismiss a team boss, even if he is unhappy with how things were handled. I don't think drivers have as much power as that, said the Sky Sports presenter. I think they can let their disappointments be known, but he has come out since Mattia's resignation in support of him, to say he's never lost respect for him despite the year they had. So I don't think it comes down to Charles Leclerc. There are some forces higher up in Ferrari that expect more than what they were given this year. This is a point of view that F1 chief and former Ferrari boss Stefano Domenicali agrees with. Ferrari appeared to be in contention to end its long wait for titles after a strong start to the 2022 season, but failed to win any of the final 11 races of the campaign, amid a loss of performance, and finished a distant second to Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. When you are second with Ferrari, it's something that is not enough, Domenicali told Sky Sports News. I was in the same situation or position many years ago, and I want to wish him to stay focused and believe in himself, said Domenicali, who was Ferrari team principal from 2008 to 2014. It is easy to understand where the Leclerc and Binotto rumours have come from. Leclerc has used his media time to badmouth the Ferrari team multiple times this year. After the Silverstone debacle that cost him a race win, Mattia was seen berating Leclerc before he went to the media pen, presumably warning him of the consequences for questioning his authority in front of the cameras again. Despite that, Mika Hakkinen is another who doubts whether a personal conflict between Ferrari driver Charles Leclerc and Binotto led to the latter's departure. It doesn't matter whether you like them or not. That doesn't interfere with your success. You have to work in a team. You have to respect the people's talent, knowledge, their commitment to the sport, so I doubt it's a true story. Mika hasn't raced in Formula 1 for over 20 years though, so things might have changed. Naomi Schiff may have said that the rumours regarding Leclerc's involvement in Mattia's departure are rubbish, but she didn't pull any punches later in her interview. I think it's a tough question, she said when asked if Ferrari's decision to swap team bosses again would have a negative impact. If you look at football, they replace coaches and team principals a lot more often than they do in F1. Mattia Binotto would not have lasted as long as he did if he was in another sport. So you have to argue, if it's not working, maybe make a change. But at the same time, you want to build momentum. You want to build a formula that people know what to expect and history within a team. Formula 1 is a bit of a different beast to football, but should the team bosses be treated any differently? In Formula 1 it takes years to build a car, but the team principal doesn't actually have that much input in the finer details of that. So does having a team principal for many years actually matter that much? We don't know the answer to that, but it is an interesting one to think about. As we alluded to earlier, replacements for Mattia Binotto are currently few and far between. When a man who is heavily involved in one of the biggest financial scandals in football history is one of your favourite choices, you know things are bad. The problem with finding someone to take over is the extra hardship that comes with being Ferrari boss. Martin Brundle conceded that Ferrari was always in a unique position as a team because of its following in Italy. You're working for a country there at Ferrari, not just a team, of course, said Brundle. They've lost their chief technical officer and their chief principal, so unless they've got somebody very, very good to replace him straight away, it all looks a little bit strange, but that's the nature of it. Brundle joked that he quite fancied the job himself, before more seriously suggesting that perhaps the squad needed to look for someone who would not be as heavy under the spotlight of the Italian media as Binotto was. You've got to speak Italian, he said. And I think the problem is, if you look back at when they were last successful, they had a Frenchman in Jean Todt, a Brit in Ross Brawn, a South African with Rory Byrne, and so on. Maybe that's what they need again. Something like that. People who are not completely exposed to the daily Italian media. Seeing your name dragged through the media on a daily basis has to be hard, so having a foreigner in charge would help remove that aspect of the Ferrari job. Sure, you might know it's happening, but at least you don't have to read it with your morning coffee every day. You might think that after making it this far through the video that no one has anything nice to say about Ferrari and Mattia at the moment. Don't worry about going out there and doing your own research, because we can confirm that there's no one saying anything particularly positive about the team. So to make sure we finish with a dose of positivity, let's look at what Ferrari drivers Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz has to say about their soon-to-be ex-boss. Despite suggestions from the Italian media that Leclerc and Binotto were not on speaking terms, Charles still had some nice things to say in an Instagram post. "Thank you for everything, Mattia. We spent 4 very intense years together, full of great satisfaction and also, inevitably, moments that tested us. My esteem and respect for you have never diminished, and we have always worked with full dedication to achieve the same goals. Good luck with everything." His Spanish counterpart Carlos Sainz echoed Leclerc's thoughts and added that it was a pleasure to work with the team principal, whom he thanked for the great memories and moments. "Grazie Mattia," said Sainz on social media. "It's been a pleasure to work alongside you, to push the team and ourselves forward through thick and thin. Thanks for the great memories and moments we shared in and out of a racing track, and all the best in your future endeavours." Will they be saying the same thing to the media in January when Mattia has actually gone? Or will the truth behind this whole ordeal start to leak out? Let us know your opinion on why Mattia is quitting in the comments down below. And until next time, drive safe and bye for now.